Halo has had some unique missions over its 24 years of existence, whether that be heading to space, a vehicle defense mission leading into an alien goddess, or a last stand. Halo has always tried to push the envelope forward. However, I believe it's in its weakest Halo where I find the most unique mission in the franchise. Of course, I'm talking about Halo 5 Guardians opening level, Osiris. I had to talk about it eventually, man. Come on. Osiris is the most unique mission in any Halo game up to this point, and that's because from the start, it's all go. In every other Halo game before and after Halo 5, from Bungie to 343, they've always eased the player into the gameplay and the story being told. That's not the case here. If you're a casual fan of Halo who's only played the base games, you have no idea what is happening in this mission. Who is Spartan Locke? Who is Jewel Mandama? Why is Buck a Spartan? Why are the Covenant and Prometheans fighting each other after helping each other in Halo 4? What are all these attacks about? What's going on? Instead of questions developing, Halo 5 throws 10 million things at your face and expects you to just run with it, without truly giving you an answer on a lot of these plot points. That's because Halo 5 is a game that truly takes the lore of Halo and makes it the priority. There's a thing on Halo Waypoints, I'll put up a picture if I can still find, if it even still is up, that is like the Halo 5 experience, for you to truly understand the story. There was Hunt the Truth, New Blood, Halo Escalation, and a whole bunch of other material you needed to figure out who even half the characters are. They expect you to understand everything that is going on, and that's a through line that can work in games, as long as you go back and explain why they set that up in the first place. Halo 5 does not, and the Osiris mission is the biggest culprit of that. Despite all of that, the plot of this mission is incredibly simple. Hostage rescue. Dr. Halsey was captured in Spartan Ops, and now Osiris is going to save her. And, assassinate Jewel Mandama. Now, you may not know who this guy is, and I don't blame you, because he was the main antagonist of the Spartan Ops cutscenes. But I guess in the wider grand scheme, he was the leader of the Storm faction that you faced in Halo 4, basically the new leader of the Covenant. And at the end of the Spartan Ops story, I don't blame you if you didn't play it, he basically takes Halsey and finds half of this Janus key, which allows him to find Forerunner things all over the galaxy. That's where I assume he is right now. But this guy is pretty badass. The Storm faction was just a retread of the Covenant, but you can't really go away from the Covenant in Halo, so I guess he gets a pass. And being named the Didact's Hand is pretty cool. He's basically just set up as Halo's next big bad. So let's just see what happens to him. I'm sure it's fine. This is like the cardinal sin. You don't kill one of the main antagonists in the galaxy in a cutscene. That's stupid. I don't like it. I've never liked how Halo 5 handled the Covenant, especially since they're still in the game after this point, just without a leader and without a focus. They're just an enemy to kill. This type of death should have been an Act 2 type of thing, not a pilot episode victory. But that's just me. Halsey says some cryptic line. Let me play that.
It took you long enough.
And you're done. Like I said, it's incredibly simple. But you have no context behind anything that's going on. And while the spectacle and the graphics and the enemy variety is on point, besides too many soldiers, replaying this mission, I was so confused on what was actually happening around me because I wasn't told the vision. I was told 10 million different things in a 1-minute cutscene, and they expect me to go with it. That piece of storytelling is just, I don't agree with that. And that's why I think it's Halo's most unique mission, because for all of its faults, it tries something different. This entire campaign tried to be something different. And while no, it did not work, at least I can appreciate that. It's also unique because it added so much new. If you play the campaigns first like I do, you get to see the new Spartan mobility in action. The ground pound, the clamber, charge, no cooldown sprint, new reworks to the enemies like the knights, and the new enemies like the annoying ass soldier, weapon varieties, even though they're mainly an Easter egg in this one. And I guess the most important piece would be that ensemble cast. In every other game up to this point, you're really fighting alone. There's missions where you're fighting alongside Marines, and in ODST you're fighting with your squad mates, in Reach you're fighting with Noble Team, but the campaigns always find a way to throw you back down to where it's just the player character doing an adventure. That's an interesting challenge to tackle in this first mission, but I don't know if they really succeeded. After replaying this mission for the first time in, God, maybe 6 years, Buck came off as Buck. I still don't know what Tanaka was doing. I know Val gets a little bit of development with her saying Healy stuff, which is cool, and that's explored a little bit later in this game, and Locke is just, Spartan Locke. I got nothing for you there. Everything comes off just a little flat, and that sucks because I know this version of the story was not the original intention, and seeing that come to fruition, that original vision actually playing out, probably would have made this game so much better. Outside of Buck, who they brought back purely because of this problem, you're not attached to any of these characters, and they do not truly make an attempt to make it so. One thing I will credit Osiris for is its sense of energy. Say what you want about the execution, but the mission kicks off with a cinematic spectacle, and no other game has attempted that before. You're sprinting down a mountainside, dodging explosions, fighting through waves of Covenant, all while figuring out what is actually going on, because it's cutting between every single fucking person. It's an adrenaline rush from start to finish, and even if the storytelling fumbles hard, the gameplay itself is good-ish. The movement system, the squad mechanics, and the sheer scale of the battle, it all makes for a mission that, at the very least, feels bigger than it is. At the end of the day, Osiris is a mission that represents everything Halo 5 tried to be, for better or worse. It's fast, chaotic, packed with lore, and introduces a ton of new mechanics all at once. But in doing so, it alienates the common player base, who aren't deeply invested in the extended universe, rushing through major story beats without the proper weight or build-up. It's a mission that throws you headfirst into the action, and while I can respect the ambition, the execution wasn't there. Halo's always been about a striking balance between bombastic set pieces and storytelling, and Osiris is proof of what happens when that balance is completely thrown off. Whether you love or hate Osiris, or maybe even Halo 5 as a whole, it doesn't really matter. It may not be the strongest opening mission, and it sure as hell could have handled its story better, but it's still a moment in this franchise's long history. Halo has always evolved, it's taken risks, and sometimes, most of the time, stumbled along the way. But that's the part of what makes it special. Agree with me or not, it's still Halo. A crazy, random, unique piece of Halo, but it's still Halo. Somehow. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what I do, maybe consider checking out some other stuff. Thank you so much.